both pockets equally swollen. It's a sweep. What? It's a sweep.
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we have Stephon Gilmore. He's one of the last guys you want to target in coverage. It's the Commanders and the Cowboys, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin here in Dallas, joined by Charles Davis, as I am every year at this special time. Happy Thanksgiving, partner.
And happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone who's checking out this game.
Yeah, great to spend it with all of you at home. Boy, they've been doing this here in Dallas a long time, since 1966. And it's always a little more intriguing when it's a divisional matchup like we have here this afternoon.
And not only a divisional matchup, how about a heated rivalry matchup? And these two, they really don't like each other. And this extends over plenty of years, whether they're playing on Thanksgiving Day or any other given day in the NFL schedule. These two, they want to get after each other.
Danny Johnson returning. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Danny Johnson, one man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Now Lewis selects to return it. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So the Cowboys ready to go on offense for the first time, and it is their now 30-year-old quarterback, Dak Prescott, who leads the way.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You talk about this Washington defense. Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
On the left side, Gallup's got it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and a couple. Running right, it's Pollard. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let it pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Prescott now. And this one almost intercepted. a good throw there, nearly an opening drive INT.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
The Commanders set to go to work on offense, and they've handed the controls to this man in his second NFL season, former Tar Heel Sam Howell.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. You look at this Cowboy defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Second down, Howell back to pass. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll go again with Gibson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Commanders' first down.
This time they'll throw it with Howell. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Touchdown! Logan Thomas. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders are able to extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13.
Commanders 13. Cowboys nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Lewis selects to return it. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a third down coming up. Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Fighting this, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Johnson to return it. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
It's 2nd and inches.
Pollard gets it off the option. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Prescott. Only a yard in the completion. It's second and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Pollard is in. Touchdown, Dallas. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide.
Taking it right down Broadway. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. That one downfield for Dotson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson as the first half is winding down. And the Commanders will extend their lead here just before halftime. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's Prescott. Ball delivered complete on the crossing route Gallup. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Prescott. He's across midfield. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving again to everybody at home as we take a look ahead to what's coming up both later today and this weekend. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll have to contend with the New England Patriots. Lots to look forward to in the late games as well. One of the best being in Philadelphia, where we find the Eagles taking on the Buffalo Bills. Finally on Monday night, Cyber Monday. Put the credit card away and settle in for Bears and Vikings from U.S. Bank Stadium. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both teams making their final preparations for this second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. As they begin their second half here, Charles, offensively, not where they want to be, obviously. They're losing in this ball game, but very much within striking distance. We'll see what adjustments they make in the second half.
Is that the old glass half full, half empty type of a deal? Which way do you want to look at it? Because you're right, they're down on the scoreboard, but they're definitely opportunities now, because if they want to go ahead and get going in this one, get back to the running game. I think there are going to be some places to go with it, and I think the offensive line will appreciate the chance to fire out and hit people.
That's a good point, because they virtually had nothing going in the ground game in that first half. And Pollard going to pick up a Cowboys first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now Prescott. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Prescott. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction, and was able to track the ball in another.
A first down throw for Prescott. That's dumped off to Pollard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 37. Prescott to throw it. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Dallas, Texas is the spot. Third quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Prescott's throw taken in there by Cooks. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Prescott yet again. And it's caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll run with Pollard. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have got it back to within a score. Aubrey good with a PAT. And the lead will shrink to 6. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Johnson now returning. Here comes Johnson on the return. Running room at the 50. Look out. He might score. Touchdown, Washington. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Commanders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. Powell throwing for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Throwing, Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 1 now. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as they'll get this up to about the 42. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Prescott on 1st down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. They shakes him off. And that is incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. He's got it, and the lead stretches to 35-14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now Lewis selects to return it. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this fourth quarter. First down, Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup.
Prescott now. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Ready up!
A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And the Commanders' first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So a victory here for the Commanders. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Commanders, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they'll get a few extra days.